Consumer Rights Day is announced by Consumer International, Fair Digital Finance. And I think the Director of Consumer Affairs has added the word services. Digital, fair digital financial services. Calls for stakeholders, therefore, to do more in protecting consumers and keeping them informed. This is because more people are signing up for digital financial services like banking, insurance, and investment management. Juniper Research predicts that users of digital banking services will increase by 54% from 2.7 billion people in 2020 to exceed 6.3 billion people by 2024. However, some of these consumers must cope with vulnerabilities in using digital financial services. There are challenges. Okay. The network, although an important source of data-driven innovation and for hosting of various services, particularly financial services, has to contain its challenges. And we know what some of these challenges are. Hacking, okay? Unintended erosion of security and privacy. These are the challenges, you know, among the many we have to contend with. These challenges of adapting to digital platforms for transactions are further worsened by unscrupulous people that exploit consumer vulnerabilities for illicit gains. All stakeholders have the responsibility to protect consumers against losses on account of their adopting digital platforms. They should enjoy the protection as obtained on legacy platforms. Fortunately, the NDEPS 2020-2030 adequately addressed the protection of telecom consumers against the threat of cybercrime, encouraging them to embrace digital finance and supporting them to contribute to the digital economy. The Commission, committed to fulfilling its mandate and passionate about driving digital economy in Nigeria, has continued to implement initiatives in this regard. Through the Consumer Affairs Bureau, it undertakes constant consumer education with a significant part of this effort dedicated to providing information that equips the consumer to thrive in a world that has embraced digital financial services. Through its outreach programs, which have been retooled to reflect existing realities and trends, Consumer Affairs Bureau now has consumer-centric initiatives that include Telecom Consumer Parliament, Telecom Consumer Time Hall on radio, Telecom Consumer Conversations, TCC, as well as social media platforms, and a consumer portal that are avenues for telecom consumers to access education materials that include how to safeguard themselves while using telecom platforms to access digital financial services and products. Consumer Affairs Bureau has also developed and produced various consumer education materials, such as Plexi, and roll-up banners, handbills, stickers, bookmarks, and consumer handbook on major telecom topics, which are regularly distributed to consumers for their education and sensitization. As part of the activities marking the 2022 World Consumer Rights Day, the Commission has finalized arrangements to establish the Telecom Consumer Assistance Resolution and Inquiries Desk, TELCARE, at strategic locations across the country to provide information to telecom consumers. The TELCARE desk is to serve as an additional platform to receive and facilitate the resolution of consumer complaints, provide a means through which consumers and citizens can make inquiries on consumer issues, provide a platform for advocacy on any thematic consumer issue or concern to further enhance awareness of the Commission's activities. The Commission plans to have help desks located at strategic places at Nigerian airports, with the desk in the arrival lounge of the Nnamdi Azikiwe Airport, Abuja, which is being commissioned today, being a pilot. To further protect telecom consumers, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, the Nigerian Communications Commission Computer Security Incident Response Team, NCC CSAT, periodically notifies telecom consumers of the latest cybersecurity threats and challenges, and how to avoid falling victims to this menace. NCC CSAT has been at the forefront of protecting telecom consumers from cyber threats. The provision of timely advisories by the CSAT has greatly helped to protect consumers from being unfairly targeted by cyber attacks, which goes a long way in ensuring that they can access digital services without suffering unwarranted losses. As we address the threat and challenges to those that are already connected in digital financial services, the Commission is mindful of those that are yet to be connected because of coverage issues. As many as 30 million Nigerians are yet to have access to telecommunication services as a result of clusters of access gaps, which the Commission has managed to drastically reduce from 214 to about 112 as we speak, but the remaining clusters of access gaps do deny many Nigerians, close to 30 million, of access to telecommunication services.